Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. At the moment, we are 3. We are soon to be 4. Sheila's just been having some little technical difficulties. Just so you know, ladies, I'm absolutely boiling here. If I look at the temperature at the moment inside my flat, with every fan going, I've got a fan next to me here. I've got the big fan up here. I've got this portable fan that I'm thinking of turning on. And it is currently 32 degrees, which is, what is that? Is that what, I think that's 90s in Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
90s, something like that. I'm absolutely boiling. But
And
weirdly
the tube must be hell.
Oh my God, I just forget about it. Just forget about it. I don't even go out in the day anymore.
Yes,
Lena,
we've moved into vampire mode, have we?
It's out of fashion, everyone. It's now out of fashion. Mid-afternoon, no one goes out. We've become Spain, Madrid, overnight. And now everyone flocks out in the evening because the temperature, wow, drops to like 28 degrees rather than being 36 or something like that. Anyway, so lots of ice cream and walks and stuff. And anyway, so I'm absolutely sweating. So forgive us if my brain's slightly skew-iffed. Let's just do the swapsies over. Sheila is back. Fingers crossed.
Now,
can you hear us, Sheila?
I can hear you guys. I hope you can hear me. Everything is posted.
Yes. Yes, we can hear each other.
Now, Hoagie, I have a question, a sporting question before we start. It must be awful for the Wimbledon players in this heat. That's not normally an issue.
Except that Ferry won his quarterfinal today. So one of the Brits is through to the semi-final.
Oh. Whoa.
As a wild card, honestly, like, as you guys know, like, you know, Lena's a big sports fan, but I'm a major tennis fan. So is Lena. So we love a good tennis story. And this is juicy. This guy is he's not very tall. He's about 5'9", which is pretty short for modern tennis players' standards. Immensely talented, huge, brave heart. And very, very good. So we'll see how far he's up against. I think it's Zverev in the next round. That's a tough one because he's the French Open champion.
Sure.
So it's like,
it is brilliant.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So, folks, I have your questions here. Significantly more than I was expecting. It ran to 4 pages. Forgive me if I don't read out your question. I've also been doing my Ancestry online because you guys know I mentioned it before. I did another one, Ancestry.com. Oh, my God. The detail. Yes. There's even more that has emerged.
Yes.
And it's like the percentages and the breakdowns. There's a lot more kind of like a Welsh and Scottish and English in there. The African mix is different. It's only 34% Nigerian, then it's Ghanaian, then it's this, that, and the other. The whole 9 yards, all blending and mixing in Jamaica, folks. And I'm sure, you know, Lena would have a thing or two to say about that. But let's start the show. Let's get this moved off your face, Sheila, so the time is just not completely covering you. We're going to be doing... Oh, indeed. So we're going to be doing a lot of one-card pulls tonight because we've got a few questions in. I may have to check my papers to sort the order because I didn't fully do it. We're going to start now, ladies. Like Lena will be in on this, but Lady G and Sheila, I've got to bring you in now. As you guys know, us Brits and the Aussies, but especially the Brits, we're quite famed for our quirky humor, aren't we? Yeah. Well, let me tell you something very funny. 1 or 2 people in the questions were like, oh, let's have something lighthearted. Well, this is reasonably lighthearted. So the 2 of you, you guys know Nigel Farage. Yeah, you've heard of Nigel Farage. You've heard of Nigel Farage? Okay, Nigel Farage is sort of like, he's to the right of politics. He's a big friend of Trump and Elon Musk and stuff. British politician. Bit of an a-hole, talented speaker, charisma and all this stuff. Anyway, He's been going through it of late because he's been accepted a £5 million donation from some people and this, that, and the other, and he's a bit dodgy. Anyway, he's the MP for Clacton, which is a seaside town in the south of England. He's basically resigned to try and stop this scandal, but is putting himself forward again in his own constituency. What's happened is the British, all the other political parties have gone, no, we're not going to stand against you. So your resignation becomes null and void so that you have to face this investigation. It turns out he is facing a certain candidate, and this is the candidate that he's potentially facing. Let me share the screen. You guys would just love this. All right. So the potential sole opposition to Nigel Farage is this guy. Yeah. Can you see this, folks? Count.
Yes. Isn't it? It's great.
It's just
great.
And he's written here, I didn't know old Farage was going to self-detonate. And it says, perhaps it's a fever dream, suggests proudly parody candidate expert expected to be Reform leader's only challenger for the seat. So just to give you some background, Count Binface has been looking forward to a relaxing journey back to his home planet of Sigma 9 when Nigel Farage dropped a political bombshell on Tuesday. Instead, Britain's hottest new political property said that he was left with no choice but to perform a swift intergalactic handbrake turn when news broke that Farage had resigned as MP for Clacton, triggering the possibility of a by-election in the English coastal constituency as he has represented since 2024. Farage, the leader of the right-wing populist Reform Party, has been accused of using the poll to shake off a deepening scandal over financial gifts he has received. But the plan appears to have backfired after his main rivals announced they would boycott the by-election. The Clacton by-election is now likely to be a two-man race between the Reform leader and Count Binface. And he puts here, I didn't know old Farage was going to self-detonate, did I? Said Binface, a veteran of British elections, where the parody candidate is something of a mainstay. The 5,900-year-old leader of the Recyclons is the creation of John Harvey, a comedian from Lewisham in South London, who has run against former prime ministers, including Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, as well as Theresa May in his previous incarnations as Lord Buckethead. And this is the by-election which Andy Burnham won. As you can see, Count Binface, and here you can see Protect British Wildlife, a man dressed as a fox.
Right.
So
this is where it's at.
British humor, folks. So the question is, the first one is this is from Nick Minks. She said, well, let's start with a Farage fiasco in the UK. He's resigned over irregularities in financial payments, but he says he's standing for re-election. What do the cards indicate? Will Clacton vote the flea bag back in? Or shall we see, will Count Binface potentially win against Nigel Farage? One card pull. I mean, you can't make it up. You cannot make it up.
Well,
this shirt isn't even ironed, by the way. Forgive me, guys. Just hoping that the wrinkles will just fall out of it, such as the steamy heat here. Honestly, tropical nights.
Oh.
Let's see. Count Binface. What are his chances, Count? Can you imagine if he won? It would be the shame of shame politically to lose to someone like that.
And maybe.
Count Binface. We'll have Lady G going first, as usual, when we go clockwise. This card. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Lady G.
Well, the 7 of Swords. And in this deck, it is futility.
Okay. Yeah.
Futility. Wow. So maybe futility could win out against Farage. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you. Sheila, what card do you have?
I got strength. I mean, courage, power.
Yeah.
He has the courage to go through with it also. I got strength. That's kind of self-explanatory, if you ask me.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Lena, what do you have?
well, you love this. It just says yes. I think people are going to make a protest vote.
That would be extraordinary. And then if we look here, I've got the Queen of Swords, and it deals with astute thinking, sharpness. As you know, I associate the King and Queen of Swords with accountancy and numbers and stuff. But this can talk about an incisive or a sharp decision. So it could well be the case that the people of Clacton may decide to send a strong political message to Farage if they are displeased with him. And it could be the case, I mean, even the words just coming out of my mouth, but based on those cards, maybe Bin Face would stand a chance. And if he does win, it would be the biggest political shame that has ever happened in British politics, probably global politics. Wow. He stands a chance, folks. He stands a chance. Let's see what happens. Count Bin Face. All right, so we're jumping in our esoteric aeroplane. And now we're going to France. Now, this is quite interesting. So this is coming from Nick Mix again. It says here, Marine Le Pen has been convicted in France. And although guilty, this was like they accused her of embezzling funds. And although guilty, can stand for presidential election if she wears an ankle bracelet. Would France follow the US and put a convict in power, she says. All right, so let's have a one-card pull. Sheila going first this time. And Sheila, I noticed that your volume was a little bit lower than usual, but but let me just know if you guys at home can hear okay. Marine Le Pen.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear okay. I'm not sure.
Oh, that sounds all right. Yeah, that sounds all right.
I just got to speak up, probably.
Marine Le Pen, one card pull. Would France vote in a felon? Marine Le Pen. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Sheila going first.
Oh my goodness, I got the Fool. I got the Fool. I mean, I don't know if is somebody running against her that would be somebody new in perspective. That would be, because I don't know much about all of this. Or these people are going to be fools, just like the in the United States. So there's twofold as to what could be really happening. They could get a new idea and a new prospect, or it could.
Or they take a leap of faith. Sometimes the fool can mean literally taking a chance.
Yeah.
They might take a chance on her. Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Sheila. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, this is a film noir card, and it says out of the past. She's one of those who never dies, right? She is the daughter of an arch racist, fascist horror, and proudly carries the mantle of hate. And what happened to the pretty boy? That was
they said he would be happy to be run as her prime minister. If she runs for president, then he'll be prime minister.
Yeah, I don't trust him either, because he's younger and he's too good looking and doesn't care if people live or die or drop dead in front of him. So he might do well out of this eventually. They might pull her and go for him eventually. But out of the past, I think, is talking about her past.
Right. Yeah, indeed. And I think my cards are echoing and tying in with the ladies' cards here. I've got the Queen of Cups. So, of course, this card can talk about, I mean, first of all, this can also talk about Marine Le Pen. Normally it's associated with creativity and stuff like that. But it's not just that. As Lady G would say, what is in her crucible of abominations?
Yeah.
So this can also be a lady who has secrets, who has
Mm.
a past. But this could also be a lady as well that understands the machinations of things. I think Marine Le Pen knows where a lot of dead bodies are buried. This is not her first rodeo by any chance. So it also means she's probably got one or two things up her sleeve politically, particularly to get herself out of difficult situations. So, yeah, interesting. All right, that's me.
Well, I
Did you-
got a 5 of Pentacles, but as you see this in this deck, it's totally different. So sitting there and not in a happy mood. So I don't think it's going to go well for her. This is not out in the cold, but it's sitting there in kind of misery, like, oh my God. Oh, the shame of it all.
I know, but she has no shame. And in the comments, sorry, Lady G, I didn't mean to cut across you.
No, that's okay.
In the comments, it says Le Pen has run for president every election cycle since 1976. A Le Pen has been there. That was her dad and her. Every election since 76.
Time for a change.
Wow. Wow, well, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's fascinating. I'm just trying to catch up. There was so many questions that came in. We've got a few questions on Mitch McConnell, which I think we have to look at. Let's do one. There's been several that have been asking about a building in Manhattan. Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys are nodding. All right. So let's have a little look. See, and also as well, I like to read out names that we don't normally see in the questions. As much as I like the regular ones, I try and pick out one or two that we've not seen before. So this is coming from M. Wallace, and they've written here: will the high rise in Manhattan that has structural failure be demolished or patched together to complete renovation into luxury apartments? The buildings surrounding it have been evacuated with only police and structural engineers allowed close or in the building. Well, that's a bit concerning. Do the cards show if it collapses before a decision is made? Thank you, Hoagie and all. And then someone else said there was another one which was also Nick Minks again was saying the Pfizer building in Manhattan has started to buckle under new building work. Do cards indicate if it can be repaired or if it will suffer tower collapse? So let's look at this.
Yeah.
Will the tower have a tower moment? Wonders. So Lena going first on this one, and if anyone else gets the tower,
a developer is putting an extra 36 floors on this building, and it can't handle the weight because they're cowboys and they took shortcuts. And one of the construction workers took a picture on his phone. He said the columns are collapsing like a cigarette. And they just look like bent cigarettes. It's so dangerous.
Did you say an
a lot
extra
of evacuations around it because it could fall forward or down?
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. Clearly the building should be demolished. And you said, Lena, did you say they want to put an extra 33 floors? Did you say 33? This is madness. Absolute cock-a-hoop madness. All right, let's pull cards. What will happen with that building? That is ridiculous. That's just a recipe for disaster. All right, after 3, Lena going first. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh, oh my God, guys. Lena. Oh, you can't make this up.
Yes, well, the death card, and you'd have to say I would lean more with this card to it having to be a controlled demolition. I think it must be doing so much damage to the other structure.
Yeah, that's what went through my mind. Here, look, we got the Nine of Wands. This here, you see the embattled character here. Isn't it interesting? You've got these wands and they're talking about the pillars crumpling. So this is a card, in a way, it's almost like the spirit of the building has kind of come through here. Like this building is exhausted. It is tired. It's battle weary. This isn't really a card of rejuvenation. If it was like the Ace of Wands or maybe the Star card, you might be like, oh, maybe there's hope. But nah, this building should be demolished based on these cards. It doesn't have. It's tired. It's a tired building. Lady G?
Yes, I have the Seven of Pentacles in this deck. It's variance. But the variance of this harvest, it's not good. It's just too much weight, too much concrete things that it's, no. It's got to go.
And Sheila, thank you, Lady G. Sheila, how do you interpret your card, which kind of is pretty clear, isn't it?
I know, I'm getting the obvious. I mean, it's a man-made disaster. I felt it the first time I watched the program or whatever, then when they were talking about, I think Mamdani, whatever his name is, he did a press conference on it and he talked about it and he said, we're going to look at it, this, that, and the other. And my first feeling was, I don't know if it's going to come down, but it's definitely coming down. Like either it's going to come down on its own or they're going to employ it and take it down and take the rubble away. But it is not going to work. It is too far gone. And it can't handle the weight that it has right now. There's no way they're going to add any onto it. Or people. The weight of the people. So that's what my theory was.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? I mean, but you see, guys, you know, like, do you remember in one of our last shows, and we said, what is the meaning of Trump? What are the lessons that are being learned? And I think one of the big lessons that are being learned, what is he revealing to us all? I think he's revealing the sheer extent of the corruption, nepotism, backhanders, all of that stuff. So while I'm rummaging through the questions, ladies, give the audience your sixpence worth on the Trump administration and what it's revealing. Lady G first, and we'll go around as I select some more questions.
Well, it's just about all the shadow corruption and things that have been going on forever, just behind the scenes, and especially with his staffs and people putting somebody on the pedestal based on a bunch of garbage. You know, taking him for something that he's not, that he's been promoted as, rather than looking under the surface to see what's actually there.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus Trump and Turkey. Sorry, I'm just writing out a message here. Sheila, what are your thoughts on the corruption of the Trump regime and what that is revealing to all of us?
Well, I can take it personally, what it revealed to me. It revealed to me that before I used to have a little bit of faith in our government and they all held each other accountable. But when one side gets the abundance of power, either side could really get corrupted. But it's showing us how one side, what is that one saying is, what is that one saying where it says power, all else power? I forget the name of it.
Yeah, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
There we go. And it's very, very true. And another thing that I think that the Trump administration has revealed to me is that we were just not all paying attention.
Yes.
We were all snoozing through all of this stuff, and they knew it, and they took advantage of that. So that was something that was a very eye-opening to me as well.
Yeah, indeed. Lena, your interpretation, what do you feel that this Trump regime and all of its debauchery is educating us and telling us?
Well, I think the US represents the most extreme example, but the same dynamics are playing out in other countries. And just as Americans couldn't believe it, we, the world, couldn't believe how by just refusing to comply with anything, the law does not act to protect people from mad rich people. It just doesn't. And we've all paid the collective price in terms of, pollution and other things and erosion of rights, etc. So it is a big learning lesson for the world. And sorry, one more thing, that you need professionals in long-term agencies. One of the things that was never done before was hollow out these agencies, because they would see 4 presidents, 6 presidents, 10 presidents, and you had that institutional knowledge to keep it going. And now that's gone. So you've only got clowns in these huge positions, and that's very dangerous.
Indeed, yeah, certainly would agree with that. I'm just looking at the time. We're doing good for time. We're going to keep going with the 1 card pulls. We're going to go to South America. 1 card pull on that. Then we've got a Mamdani question, the New York building collapse. That's been there because some of the things repeated. We've got NATO questions. Neti, the Neti versus Trump versus Turkey. Will Trump become a martyr and an innocence project? So we'll try and probably focus on those ones. So let's look at South America. So thank you for your questions, folks, and I'll bring some of you in on the chat soon as well. New question here as well, so I want to read that one out. And this is coming from Katika. So thank you, Katika, so much for your message. She says here, hi, Hoagie, Lena, Lady G, and Sheila. There have been elections in several Latin American countries that have resulted in far right-wing candidates winning. Yeah. Can you see if these elections were tampered with, or if there's in fact a true turn to right-wing policies by their population? Someone else also asked the same question. It was Nick Mix again. So right-wing Keiko Fujimori has been declared winner of. Wow, that sounds Japanese. This person must be of Japanese extraction. Anyway, has been declared winner. Do you know him, Lena?
Yes, he's been around for decades. Yeah, go on.
So it says here, winner of Peru's tight presidential election following growing trend for right-wing swing in South America. However, has there been interference in result, especially by US, as this suits the orange one's agenda? So basically, to answer those, 1 card pull. Is South America's elections collectively being tampered with by the US to get more of these right-wing people in, which will facilitate a wider agenda? And particularly when we take into account that Peter Thiel has obviously ensconced himself now in South Argentina, and that's all Project Paperclip and all that stuff. So 1 card pull. I think it's me going first on this one. Let's just put here, what's this here? Mark says Trump is leaving the new Air Force One in Europe now. Wow. Okay. Is he getting off the plane, you mean? Thank you, Erica, so much for becoming a new member. And then Susie Happy, thank you so much for your kind donation. All right. Interference in Latin America elections. Is there interference there? 1 card pull. Me going first. Let me get myself together. Here we go. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Okay. This is
interesting.
Juicy. All right. Well, my card is a bit more straightforward. I've got the Knight of Wands here, and this is very much a card of energy, of passion, of action. The 1 suite, as you know, I associate with business and entrepreneurship, but it also deals with passion. So there's certainly an element of passions being stoked, energized, fired up. I think there is a lot of political interest, particularly vis-a-vis this regime. and trying to get South America to go more right wing, because of course it would suit the Trumpian agenda. So there's certainly energy being put into that to influence. Lady G?
Well, I have the card of double indemnity, but also it's the wheelman of Jay, which I would say yes, then, and it's not going to bode well since it's double indemnity. But the wheelman cachet says it all.
Wow, perfect. Thanks so much. Thank you, Lady G. Sheila, what do you have?
You can't really read it, but it says jealousy. And I kind of took it as, jealousy. If you're jealous of somebody else, you're going to start manipulating and you're going to start having those really unhealthy actions. And I have a feeling that that's probably what is going on. It's like that turmoil within with one party, and they're starting to manipulate, and they're justifying their cheating and their lying and their manipulation because of what their jealousy is telling them. Their jealousy of somebody liking them or going, I don't know. I have a feeling that they are having some integrity problems. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, this is not new. If you follow Latin American politics, the CIA has been intervening in democratically elected elections in South America for as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, a long time.
Active in that regard. However, I think it's simply changed a bit. I think when people are in crisis financially, they look to the strong man, and so the billionaires are able to fill that gap, make a person that would, fulfill that role. So I think it's shifted from the old guard CIA to the billionaires yet again.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you for that. The billionaires are the new CIA, and the CIA are part of the billionaire clique. It's all intermeshed, isn't it? Just bringing some people in. Gail Anderson says, leaving the plane overseas means he's going to make the plane disappear, she says. So, I mean, we just can't keep up with the ridiculousness. That is. Sorry, go on.
Because there's more of the story here about leaving the plane. He's now flown back on the old Air Force One, and he's left the new one in Europe. And the word is, and it's only, gossip at this stage, but he became freaked out that there was a target on him in the Qatari plane. That may or may not be the case. It may just be in his head, or people are filling stories, to fill the gap. But he's not taking the plane back to the US.
Wow. So let me get this right in my head. The new plane that the Qataris gave Trump as a bribe, which was fitted out with all of this luxury gold and diamonds and whatnot, he's flown the Qatari plane, which has probably been bugged up to the absolute eyeball.
Built in.
He's flown it to Europe, realized, oh shit, this could actually be a compromise, and has flown the old Air Force One back. Am I getting that right?
Yes, that much we do know.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It is so absurd. Do you remember, guys, when I said when K2 starts driving the car, I said it's going to be so batshit. It's just not. It's going to be so absurd. None of it is even going to make sense. And we've not even got on to Mitch McConnell yet, which is really juicy, by the way. Right. Okay. So now we know that Trump was in Europe and has now left the Qatari plane behind. But of course, he was at the NATO meeting. So there's questions that have come in from Denise Ferguson and Shirley Sears. Yeah. So Shirley says, so I've connected the two together. Dear Hogarth and ladies, at the NATO summit, Greenland, Canada and Spain are being threatened again by Trump. This guy just needs drowning. Will he take any action, military or economic, against these nations? Thank you. And then Denise Ferguson, also nice and concise, but given a little bit more detail. She says, during a presser at the NATO summit, Duck Orange called Iranians scum and stated the Iranian deal was a waste of time. Oh, I wonder who put those words into his mouth. He threatened Spain, Canada, Greenland, and voiced his overall dissatisfaction with NATO while sitting next to Secretary General Mark Rutte. Now, remember, Mark Rutte was one of the ones who kissed his butt and called him daddy or something like
weird
that.
guy. Yeah, weird
he needs to go drown himself. Anyway, this summit was disastrous for the US on the world stage. I mean, the second Trump opens his mouth, it's disastrous for America now, isn't it? And the World Cup, oh my God, don't even get me started on that.
No, I haven't got time in the world.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. How will this affect overall global peace and NATO's relationship with the US? So let's conflate the two together. And let's just see, are there any teeth behind Trump's threats to NATO? Then we're going to go a bit more positive with a bit of Mamdani. Yeah. One card full, gone full circle. So it will be Lady G again. Is there any teeth behind these threats from Duck Orange, or is it because of his handler, the Neti, has put the words into his mouth? And if any of us get the High Priestess, you know who that represents. That's the Neti for me. So let's see. One card pull, one card pull. And we've got to get some Shakespeare in there as well at some point. All right. And at the moment, there is 2,642 of you here right now in the live chat. So thank you so much for joining us. Much appreciated. Please be sure as well to like and subscribe and all that jazz. All right, you ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Lady G. Oh gosh. Ooh.
Well, it's about figuring out the next move, but underneath driving it all, wouldn't you know who it is?
The High Priestess.
It's underneath of it all.
The Neti. Oh, that scurrilous. Anyway, thank you, Lady G. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, everybody has choices to make, right? And everybody gets to have a choice. But at this point in time, they're not trusting him much. And everybody's at a stalemate. It's almost like everybody's looking at each other. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What is your decision? You know, they're like confirming, like, what do we do about this? Because not only is the United States unstable, it creates their countries are unstable. Who are they going to rely on, kind of a thing? And they don't like it. And I got the deception card for a clarifier with that, with a slippery slope eroding. So that's what
thank you. Thanks so much. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got tyrannical leadership. And I think they just grit their teeth when they're in his company and they go and make real arrangements, you know, in another room, because you can't fight this sort of tyrannical leadership. You can only move around it from their point of view.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense. And here, what do I have? Thank you, Lena. I have the Tower card. Yeah. So, but in a way, Trump is a walking Tower card.
Yes.
You know, he's a walking Tower card. And I think, is it now the stage? Have things reached the stage where the world is now getting used to lightning? Do you know what I mean? Where it's almost like he's just becoming this noise in the background, this kind of swaddle nappy, smelly, loud, noisy thing. But really, how much is behind it? even though this is the Tower, so I mean, it could show, okay, there could be something surprising, there could be something shocking that he will do. But at the same time, I think the whole world is coming together in a new consensus where collectively, particularly international leaders and particularly leaders in Europe, have decided we are not going to pay attention to Grandpa anymore.
No.
I just think we're kind of bored of it. And I think it's like Lena says, it's like, oh, look, Grandpa, smelly Grandpa in his nappy is there pooping his pants again, making all of this noise. Yeah, you're going to bomb this place. You're going to bomb that place. All right. And then they just make their own deals on the side.
Yeah, the shock factor has worn off. And that's a disaster for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Well, that actually dovetails. Before we do the Mamdani, let's do a quick one. Denise Fergus singing again, but this is interesting. This is talking about the Neti this time. So Netanyahu is foremost over Duck's meeting with Erdogan and the possibility of selling F-35s to Turkey. Oh, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Quite a juicy contract that would be for the United States, wouldn't he? He did a US media campaign calling Turkey an enemy of Israel, and selling F-35s to Turkey will jeopardize Israel's air security in the region. Will tensions come to a head between the US and Israel? And will Duck sell F-35s to Turkey, bypassing the congressional ban? Oh, that's actually quite juicy, isn't it? That's quite juicy. So, Sheila, we're going to start with you on this one. One card pull. Will Trump defy the Neti and sell the planes to Turkey? And then let's get Shakespeare's opinion on the Neti as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Shakespeare. Will Trump defy the Neti? Well, that would certainly be bold, wouldn't it, if he decided to break with his handler? I hope he does, actually. I hope he does. All right. So we went full circle, isn't it? So it's Sheila, I think you're starting first on this one, isn't it? Yeah? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I got fired. The first thing I thought of when I saw this fire is pants on fire, liar, liar, pants on fire. Right? And so I pulled another one from the shadow work. Let's see what they have here. Oh, self-sabotage. I don't think Trump can make a healthy decision if his life depended on it right now. He'll choose a self-centered one, and it will only be in his interest and nobody else's. Decisions be damned for him.
That's
Wow, fascinating. Thank you, Lena. How do you interpret your card? Look at the card.
Well, exactly. It says for money and power. That's it for him. He has a very simple agenda at all times, which is it's me, it's all about me. So he doesn't care if he upsets Israel. I don't think he's doing it for some gigantic strategic maneuver. The deal might fall over. Trump wouldn't care if they do sell them or don't sell them. Like, he's not engaged. It's just about money and power. This is far worse for Netanyahu, I think, than Trump.
Yeah. For once, the Neti might be on the back foot on this one. Well, if we look here, I've got the 8. Thank you, Lena. I've got the 8 of Wands. And as you can tell, this deals with things that fly through the air. Yes. So this does become one of my cards for like missiles, but planes, F-45s and all of that kind of stuff. So to me, it's looking like it's on the cards. I think what the international leaders have realized, and what the Neti has taught the world, is that if you flatter Trump, and so likewise with Putin, if you flatter Trump, you humor Trump, you dangle money in front of him, he is going to forget any alliances or allegiances he's made, and he's going to go with his next best offer. And I think Erdogan has just been talking to the Iranians, has just worked this out and been like, right, we'll buy the planes off him. We'll give him a bung of 500 million. We'll give him $1 billion odd contract, and he'll go with us.
Yes.
Lady G.
Absolutely.
What I have is the King of Cups, but underneath of it all is the Chariot, where things are moving. So I think, if he does this, it's going to be really moving democracy and the people against him. I mean, even more so than the other things that he's been doing. And then somebody was saying, too, that when he was there, I mean, he was calling Iran the Republic of Japan.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
yeah, Iran, the Republic of Japan. And then they were talking something about Zelensky, and he said President Putin, and he's looking at Zelensky. And I mean, his mental state has just really gone off.
Complete. It's moldy pudding at this point, isn't it?
Yes.
Rancid pudding for brain. Not even pudding for brains. Rancid pudding for brains right now. Oh my God. Shall we see what the bard thinks of the Neti? Yeah. Well, we've not done that. We're not done it. Now, who read out the last time? Can you guys remember?
No.
Was it?
I was the one that I called it out last, so it's somebody else's turn now.
So it's either Lena or Lady G. Lena, can you remember when? Who do you think it is, Lady G? Is it Lena or is it you?
Lena.
Oh, okay.
Lena. All right. So this is going to be the bard's opinion on the Neti, folks. Let's see what the bard has to say this time.
Stop.
Oh, how interesting. Oh, no, we've fallen into a different place in the book for a change. All right, so this one here is coming from, this is from Henry the Fourth. Yeah, Henry the Fourth, part 1. And it says here, so this is the bard's opinion on the Netanyahu. It says, there's neither honesty, manhood, not good fellowship in thee.
Ooh, ouch.
Isn't that interesting? Not good fellowship in thee. Could this be where Declarange has finally worked out that Netanyahu is not his friend and he may as well make billionaire deals with Turkey? Could this be the penny that has fallen into that pudding brain at last? We'll have to see. And then on the next page, says
you don't
here,
sorry.
Indeed.
We'll talk about it in a moment.
Says this is from the play As You Like It, and it says, this is the bard on the Neti as well, says, in civility thou seemest so empty. Which is, that is it, because the Neti presents a certain way, doesn't he?
But he's a hollow man.
It's hollow. He's been talking about Iran. They have a nuclear weapon. They're going to blow us up. Yeah, he's been saying that since 1996. In 2 weeks, yeah? It's only now that Declarange has come along. But has Declarange realized that the Neti maybe is not his friend? Oh, we'll have to see. That would be a revelation, wouldn't it? Sorry, Lena, what were you going to say? You had something to add to that.
No, Sheila was going to say something.
Oh, Sheila, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to comment on Trump and him thinking that Netanyahu is doing something wrong with him. I truly believe that Trump is so egotistical. He thinks he's the one on top. He thinks he's in charge of Netanyahu. I really do. He's like, whatever he thinks he's going to do, Netanyahu is going to follow him, because he doesn't get the concepts that he is not the one in power.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that that's probably more. He does not have emotional intelligence. He does not have anything like that to give him a clue. putting two and two together.
Yeah.
But that's just my assessment of that. What do you think?
Interesting. Anything to add to that, Lena, before we move to Mamdani?
Just a comment from Raymond, who has a Shakespeare book, and the page he got was, "One sees more devils than vast hell can hold."
Love
Absolutely. That. Thank you, Raymond.
Absolutely. So here, and this is coming from 64 MS, but that would MMS, so that would be 64 millimeters. I would say that. Oh, that could be a bullet, couldn't it? Anyway, never mind. My brain's just going off on something there. So 64 millimeters says, "Hi, folks. Will Mamdani, or Zoom, as I call him, will Mamdani fever catch across the US and bring the nation closer to a socialist democracy between now and November?" So one card pull. Lena going first on this one. That's quite a juicy question, isn't it?
Yes.
Will Mamdani fever and Democrat socialists take hold in the lead up to the midterm elections? One card pull. Lena going first. All right, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
I'm loving the Chariot for this question. So he has momentum, and he's now more popular in some of the polls that are happening than Trump, which is spinning the heads of the conventional types, right? Now, I think this is more important between now and 2028 as opposed to now and the midterms. I think he is being noticed, and he is doing well, and he's making other middle-of-the-road Dems more progressive. They're not afraid. He's shown that you can actually say it. So I'd say yes to the question, but even more so by 2028.
Oh, fascinating. Thank you so much, Lena. I've got the King of Cups here, which you guys know, and for many of us readers, this is often our card that when it comes up talks about democracy. Yeah, but we also know that the King of Cups is also a creative, sometimes musical, and obviously emotionally intelligent man. So here we're seeing this element here of the divine masculine. I think this really is Mamdani here, and he really does have this X factor. And as you guys know, I've said before, I said, even though everything's falling apart, in many ways, Mamdani's approach is that kind of shining light, as it were, amongst the milieu of all the funk and the ugly. Someone that is balancing the books, and even the billionaires like him grudgingly. They're saying it behind their Caesar salads. They don't want to admit it, but they're not voting with their feet like they did before. Remember, they said we're all going to leave. No, they are staying because they like him. Lady G.
Well, I've got the 4 of Wands, which can many times be a balance of home life, etc. And with his, putting the kibosh on being able to raise the rents like crazy, I think a lot of people are seeing that and are understanding that this is a new direction that we need to go.
Yeah.
Great cards, isn't it? Sheila, what do you have?
I have inner balance, even though this is backwards, but it's inner balance. And I thought that was a perfect card for that, because that's what we have been needing. That's what we have been accepting. This is what, what you accept transforms into something that we have all been asking for from the get-go. And what the Republicans do the most is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then now Mamdani's like, it did work. I've already proven that. Therefore, we're all going, yes, we want more of that. And I think that our Democratic leadership is starting to catch on. I hope the ones that don't, goodbye. I'm done with them. We're done with them. So that's what I got.
Fabulous. And thank you so much, ladies. And isn't it interesting? Do you see how the cards immediately adapted to the question being asked?
It's fascinating.
We've been reading, we get these kind of like, as you know, those kind of douchebaggery cards for these SOBs. Then we read on Mamdani.
Suddenly, light.
Completely changes, much more positive. So you can see, like, spirit really is dialed in. And of course they are adapting, of course, to the question that's being asked, and I think he is something that is that's really catching on. And look, if there's one thing that billionaires can do, if there's one thing billionaires are good at, it's math. Once Mamdani balanced those books, that's when a lot of the billionaires went, you know what, I'm just going to shut my mouth. You go on, Lena.
Well, just in the last couple of days, Jeff Bezos had a fine of $9 million for air pollution or something he did with pollution, and Mamdani made him pay it. Now, Bezos, if $9 million is so little, he'd probably genuinely forgotten about it. Right? The point is, and what Mamdani does really well, is it might only be 9 million for you. You're not even missing it. So do the right thing. Look what we can do with 9 million. He's making these connections for people instead of these huge sums of money just spinning in the air. And if you're a mere mortal, you have no concept of what these are. He manages to make these connections. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, he's very good. And he also understands 9 million is on a scale on which all of us can appreciate. Once you get to billions and trillions, it just becomes zeros on a spreadsheet. It's so removed from reality. But 9 billion, that makes sense. People can understand what you can do with that. And like you said, Lena, what he's showing is him charging or getting Jeff Bezos to pay 9 million is not going to stop Jeff Bezos being multi-billionaire. But what it does show is that accountability. This is a fine that you've owed, and then he can then turn it into some kind of social project that will empower and help the New Yorkers. So it's almost like that Robin Hood kind of thing, isn't it?
And I think that's what he is here for. That's his thing. I hope he's going to make the billionaires really embarrassed that they're not doing more social good, because now with Mamdani, it's cool. Before, you were only up against the crusty old billionaires. Right? Just another thing he did this week, which I think is so important. Walgreen workers. Is Walgreen a pharmacy chain or a chemist chain? And they underpaid their workers for years to the tune of, I think it was $10 million. And he this week organised Walgreen to pay back all the owed wages for the workers.
Good.
See, look at that. Amazing. Amazing.
These are not these huge sums of money. These are money to help people's lives.
Right.
Yeah.
9 million may not mean much to him, but 9 million would change my life.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe 4 other families, right?
Exactly.
And so those 2 examples, I think, are really important. It's not just these big vision things, the nitty-gritty and following it through.
Yeah. And it shows competence, and it shows determination, and it also shows courage as well, without him having to do some massive slick marketing campaign. He knows that alone is going to just do so much, because it touches real people's lives. All right, in the dying minutes of the show, we have to talk about Mitch McConnell. We have to talk about Mitch McConnell. 2 people have asked. Youngfeld, I've highlighted the bit here. I can't read all of that out, unfortunately, on a live show. You guys know that. It's best if you just keep them short and concise. I don't mind if you write several questions, but they're just more concise, because on a live show, it takes too long to read out. But Trina has asked, she says, will pressure from Dems and Republicans force the need of a proof of life visit assessment regarding Mitch McTurtle, she says. But this is even more juicy from Yellowfield here, which I've highlighted in pink. She says, we need to talk about Elaine Chao. Now, many of you will know Elaine Chao is Mitch McConnell's wife. Now, what I heard is, since he's been in hospital, she's hopped back on a plane and apparently and is in China. Hardly at his bedside. So they say we need to talk about Elaine Chao. She was referred to the DOJ when she was the C of transportation, and they declined to investigate or prosecute any of the charges. I think their marriage was all business, she says, and to provide a beard for Mitch and his relationship with his longtime male aide. That is who is by his side right now, not her, she said. Now, allegedly, I mean, I there's no way we can verify this on a live show, but nonetheless, ladies, let's read on this. Was this a lavender marriage?
Yeah.
Was this a lavender marriage between Elaine Chao? I just had a card.
More like a dead rose marriage, I would call
it. Indeed. Who's going first this time? I've lost track.
I think.
Right.
I think was it you last time, or is it your turn, Hogarth?
I think it might be me again. I think it's me again. All right, let's just see. Is this a lavender marriage? All right, let's see. You can't make this stuff up. All right. After 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Now this. Oh my God, guys! Look at the. Now, normally, as you guys know, I normally just stick to the one card. However, when I was shuffling, a card fell out. Yeah. So if we look here, the card that fell out, is this a lavender marriage? And this could be Elaine Chao. This marriage has always been hard work, folks. Hard work. 10 of Wands. This isn't, if this was like 6 of Cups, that would be talking about love, or the 2 of Cups, or even the Lovers. No, it's always been about work. Heavy lifting, getting the job done. I think she's got a lot of import and export contracts as well, hasn't she, Elaine Chao, and all of this stuff. But the card I actually bought, she's absolutely a payer. But the main card in terms of pulling on the question that didn't fall out, it was the moon. Nothing is clear by moonlight, folks. This talks about what? Secrecy, machinations, hidden agendas. Here's Mitch McConnell being the domesticated dog, as it were, trying to fulfill that role as the Republican Party. But you see here, the wolf here talks about his true nature. And you see the lobster is going after the wolf. So I think Elaine is tired of the heavy lifting. She's like, I've offloaded my burden now. All of the stuff can just come out. She doesn't care. She's off. And I think it also echoes with the other lady's card. So yeah, I think a bit of a lavender marriage here. Lady G?
Well, I got a page of Pentacles, which is about the reality of the ground of things that are happening. So I would say it could definitely be, because again, this is a message about the reality, and theirs could have been a monetary,
yes, for sure,
monetary type of a marriage for them. That's it. It keeps him protected, and she gets benefit out of it monetarily.
Absolutely, yeah, I would agree. That makes sense. Thank you, Lady G. Sheila, what do you have?
Well, I got Judgment, but when it fell out, it was inverted. And so the inverted part about Judgment, one of the things it says here is that the inability to resolve a problem. And I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, they have been even visually, they just look weird together. Even when I'm looking at them, these people shouldn't be together. So it never dawned on me that he might be gay. However, I think they did have a contractual marriage of some sort, and judgment would also apply to that. So
yeah. And we only have to see the recent form of the GOP to know that there are so many of them are closet queens anyway, so it's not even implausible. I mean, even Dr. Farage is bi. Look how he's always bigging up all of those handsome, strong soldiers that he likes. Anyway, Lena.
The high priest said, it's certainly a marriage of convenience. Let's put it that way. It could be financial or anything else and secret, but she made phenomenal wealth. She came from wealth, I think, but also made phenomenal wealth because he was a very powerful man. I'm speaking in the past tense. Isn't that interesting? He was a very powerful man who gave her the protection. I think she's in China, partly because she signed off, but more to escape legal scrutiny in the US. Because she could be in trouble without her protector per se.
Absolutely.
She's not going to come back.
I doubt she's going to come back. And also as well, for me as well, the moon is just talking about the secrecy around the whole thing. Is he alive? Is he not alive? I think we read on him, or I read on a show, and it's, in a way, it's sort of like, it's sad, but it's also karma. I really feel they are just keeping the body alive.
Till August 3rd. There's a date. I'll just quickly explain.
Yeah.
If he stays alive till August 3rd, there isn't an election to replace him before the midterms. It just stays as Mitch McConnell's seat. If he did pass before August 3rd, they would have to have an election to replace him.
Right, because they said when they changed the whole law, they said that they cannot change it for 3 months before the next election. So if he dies before, then they can do that. But if he dies after and closer to the 3 months, they can't do it. So what happens is his seat becomes null and void. I mean, nobody takes it, which is not really all that good for the Senate because of his committee. It goes to his committee that he has. He's the Republicans have the majority only because he's there. Other than that, they're only 4 and 4. So I forget what committee. Can somebody remind me what committee he's on? But he's on a very, very important committee.
Yeah. Very powerful committees, Mitch.
Yeah. And
so there's a calendar here.
The what?
There's a calendar here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I do think that he's probably on life support. I think that is exactly. And them saying that they talked to him. Oh, come on.
Oh, rubbish.
And they all say the same thing.
20
minutes.
Talked
to him for 20 minutes. They all talk to him for 20 minutes. Interesting.
Rubbish. The only talking that they're doing with Mitch McConnell is via crystal ball, folks. This guy is not talking, but I think this moon card is talking about the whole secrecy around everything. And when you put all the cards together, it's not only talking about the Lavender marriage, but also as well, just this whole secrecy around Mitch, because of course, if the truth was divulged that he's either on life support, which apparently other independent sources have verified via other independent media on YouTube, it is very much looking like that is the case. And if Elaine Chao is out, she's AWOL, she's gone back to China. And like Lena said, if she's there escaping because she's potentially faces repercussions because her protector's not there, but yet the loyal male aide that has been there, from the get-go, like with what's his name, Mike Pence. Doesn't Mike Pence also have a very loyal
Very loyal. Do you remember those photos from a few years ago? Hilarious.
There's quite a few of them, there's quite a few of them. So anyway, and we all know that Grindr crashes on the or they allegedly Grindr crashes at these conventions, but we could speculate. But I think putting that all in, there is definitely an absolute cover-up when it comes to Mitch McConnell. That I think we can absolutely agree on. And we know
Potato says here, The problem with keeping someone on life support and the body itself can still deteriorate. So she thinks it could lead to mistreatment of a corpse.
Yeah. I mean, it is mistreatment because I remember yeah, go on, Sheila.
Mitch McConnell's wife came back. Yes.
Oh, she came back. When?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell was hospitalized June 14th, and she came back July 8th.
So today's July 9th. So she's only just come back
yesterday because it was looking bad.
Yeah. It says reports are published that July 8th, her spokesman confirmed that she is now back in the United States, but did not say exactly when she returned or whether she was at Mitch McConnell's side immediately upon returning. So reports confirm that she is back in the United States. So.
Well, I will throw this into the ring. I think she'll stay a few weeks and go again.
Right. I think she needs to inherit the money and then leave.
Mm.
Yeah.
She needs a button up for everything. Yeah. Indeed.
Folks, as you can imagine, we could obviously keep going on about this all night, but we are well over. Either way, it is dodgy as AF. Yeah. Yes. Think about it. You've been married to a person for how many years, how many decades they've been married. Your partner, your spouse is at death's door. And what do? You jump on a plane and you go home to sort out some contracts, away for weeks. And then the media starts asking, where is Elaine? And then you fly back conveniently, 3 weeks or almost a month after
the
your
drama's well entrenched.
It is incapacitated. Come on, Lavender marriage up the wazoo. Anyway, folks, let's just leave it there because otherwise we go well over. It's currently 1 hour and 11 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live. It was 3,128 of you joining us live. Like, subscribe, share. Sorry?
Who's on next week?
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week. I'm off.
Oh, crikey. Here we go. It is Lena's off, and we've got Afefe is back on. Yeah. So Lena's off, Afefe's back on. And folks, we will leave it there because we're way over. People won't watch a video that's longer than an hour. So anyway, see you soon, folks. I hope you found that interesting. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all soon. Mwah! Big love. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.